Well, this is the police. This should be Bryson Withers' phone number, correct? Excuse me? Have the police in this area started using text message to talk with people now? Is there a problem with the way you're being approached by us? Well, this is the first time I've ever heard about the police doing this sort of thing. Nothing in the news or anything has talked about the police starting to text people they find to be suspects in a case. Unless this is some sort of new tactic that your department has developed, which in that case makes all of this even more odd to a man like myself. I'm sure someone like you would have never heard anything about this. But recently the police force here has started to update all their methods for reaching out to suspects. One such way is through text. It's a more hands-off approach, allows for there to be less of a chance that an officer or the suspect gets harmed. Being that we are the police, it's not difficult for us to get people's phone numbers. That's very interesting. I'll have to look into all of that at a later date then. So now, why would the police be reaching out to me right now, over text? Well, Bryson, I'll give you the reason for why I'm talking with you now. It was a victim's report about a fraud case you're a part of. And in that report, they say they had been scammed by her. So you're going to need to pay $50,000 as settlement to them. And that's why I've got in touch with you. Excuse me? So what you're saying is that I'm being blamed for committing a crime, a scam, on someone, and will now need to pay a settlement for it? As far as we're aware, there will be no court hearing for this case, as you've already been proven to be the scammer. And what you've done had been made clear to us in the victim's report. I'm sorry, but I've never scammed anyone, or committed any sort of fraud. So then this could mean you were acting on another's behalf, not knowing you were committing a crime. Perhaps when you committed the scam you were under the influence, don't recall your actions. That can't be. I've never consumed enough alcohol before to make me blackout drunk. It is known that when people become that inebriated, they will usually not remember any of the moments leading up to it. But I'm sorry, but that is not going to be enough to make you innocent in this case. But when it comes to things like committing fraudulent activity, the suspect must have been aware of what they were doing when committing the crime, or else it cannot be considered a purposeful crime, right? So what you're saying is the scam was an accident? Let me ask you something. There are many types of scams and frauds in this world. So, could you please explain to me in a little bit more detail what kind of scam the victim is saying I committed? Do you know what a badger game is, by any chance? Well, sort of. Isn't that a scam which targets men primarily? Where a man and a woman will target a man by having the woman approach him and start to perform sexual acts with him. And just before things become too physical, the man will take a picture of the two or video and use that as blackmail while threatening the victim to pay up or else he'll take legal action. That's what a badger game is, right? You seem to have the description of that form of scam spot on. Thanks? That makes this all the more troubling to me. I'm not sure why it does. I don't ever remember committing a crime like that, and had I, things would be a whole lot more serious in my case. But from what I've read in this victim's report, you are the man that committed the crime, and you will have to pay for it. I think it's best that you just come forward about things and pay the victim their $50,000 that they've asked for, before we have to escalate things any further. If you are able to pay that settlement off right now, then there will be no criminal record made in your case, and you can go right back to the life you've been living before. So really, $50,000 is pretty cheap for something like a clean record, right? Could you give me some time to think about this? Even if I wanted to pay that settlement right now, $50,000 is a large amount, and I would need some time to actually get all that money together. Understood. But I cannot allow you much time to think about this, as you are being convicted of this crime. And also, you will not be able to get away from us, as we will have eyes watching you at all times. Please do not forget that simple fact. Oh, is that so? Understood.
Bryson, sorry it's been so long since I've last talked with you. And I'm sorry for showing up out of the blue again. But I have something very important to talk with you about. Are you able to chat for a few seconds? I have to make this quick anyway, so please allow me a little bit of your time.
Long time no see, Chloe. What's happened to you?
I know that this is going to be right out of left field for you, so I'm very sorry.
What? What's going on right now?
I was threatened by him.
What? Threatened by who?
Actually, this all started to happen because of what I did. I went and cheated, stabbing my husband in the back, and that's what led to this.
What?
I understand that what I did was very wrong, but I didn't know what to do about it, and I still don't know. And now I've gotten myself all caught up in something far worse than the problems I originally had, and it's scary for me, so much that I can't move. I need a professional like you to help me.
Chloe, could you please calm down for me first? Please take 3 deep breaths for me, please. And let your heart slow down.
Okay. I'm beginning to calm down a little.
Are you able to speak to me more calmly now?
I should be able to. I want to talk about everything so that I can feel a little bit better.
Alright then. Now this could all be wrong on my part. But did you make me the target of some kind of scam?
What? How do you know?
Well, just a little bit ago I got some text from a man claiming he was part of the police.
Already?
No, I knew something was up with the whole situation, so I played it out like I was going to believe him, then ended the conversation for a bit.
I'm sorry. I didn't think he would already be starting to cause you problems.
So you knew this was going to happen?
Yes. Actually, originally the real target was going to be my husband, your little brother.
My little brother?
He started to tell me about how crazy it was that someone like my husband could get money from the both of us just because we had an affair. But I just couldn't bear the thought of getting my husband caught up in a scam like that. And I knew that me cheating would be heard about by everyone eventually, so I went and changed my husband's contact info with yours in my phone and told him. His name's Chase, by the way, and he was the man I'd been sleeping with. But I'm sure he didn't say anything more to you besides that he was the police.
I see. So that's what led to all of this. Can you tell me, have you ever participated in any other scams with that Chase guy before? Or is this your first time?
This is my first time, because he forced me to help him commit it. He threatened me to.
Have you talked with my little brother about what's all happened yet?
I was planning to talk with him about it tonight when he got back home from work.
Tonight?
He had actually been gone for some time on a business trip, so well, I'm sure he's not going to want to hear about all of this when he gets home. But I have to tell him the whole truth. This is what I get for being unfaithful.
Understood. I believe that you'll do just that, then. There are still some things I'd really like to learn about this situation from you, but I'm not the one in charge here.
That's right. I'm sorry about this.
No, you don't have to worry about it. I happen to work with someone who can handle this sort of thing for you, so I'll go and have a chat with him right now. There is going to be a lot of work that needs to be done here, and so this is going to take some time. Please just sit tight and wait for one of us to get back to you.
Okay, I'll be ready for whatever has to happen.
Rawson, may we continue our conversation now? If you do not hurry up and get that money transferred over to the victim soon, we're going to have to come and arrest you. Do you understand, Rawson? By not replying to me right now, you're making things really difficult for your future self. The law will not go easy on you for not abiding. Anyway, like I said to you earlier, we have eyes on you, so there's no way for you to get away. Please just come forward and pay off this settlement.
Bryson, I talked with my husband about everything. About me cheating on him and about what Chase is doing.
I know. I just got off the phone with my brother a second ago. And from what I hear, you guys are planning on handing in your divorce papers later, right?
That's right. Actually, we already handed them in today. And the plan is for me to pay him a settlement later on as well. But he did say he'd be kind and wait for this whole scam thing to be dealt with first before asking for that settlement.
Is that right?
I really messed up big time here. How could I have stabbed someone as kind as your little brother in the back like that?
Well, from what he told me, he understands that him being away from work made you feel lonely and tempted you to seek another man.
But cheating is never okay.
No, it is not.
And due to my unfaithfulness, I got a criminal involved who's now asking you to pay up. I can't do this anymore. I regret everything so much.
Chloe, You'll never be able to erase the problems you've caused. You can still find a way to make your future better than your past, effectively causing most people to forget about it. That all depends on what you do.
Okay, then that means I need to toughen up and become a better woman, and that's what I'll do.
Right, Bryson. Things are not going to look good for you pretty soon here. If you don't come forward and pay that settlement, you're going to get a criminal record. Do you understand what I'm saying here? From what I've learned, you once worked for a very large firm as an office worker, right? I'm sure, being the man that you are now, you should have more than enough money to pay this little settlement off. It's only $50,000, right? And if for some reason you're not able to pay this off, then your only option is borrowing the money to pay up. Bryson, we can no longer wait for you. If you do not have that money transferred over to us by the end of the day, we are going to have to come and arrest you. You will be given a criminal record. Do you understand? It's only $50,000, and yet you're willing to refrain from paying that and having your whole life ruined because of it. How about you say something to me? Hello, Mr. Police Officer. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said Chase, right? So you're finally replying to me now, huh? Well, it was getting pretty dangerous right there, Bryson. Had I not told my men to stop their advance towards your place just then, you would have been raided, placed under arrest. You should be thankful for that. Now, I'm going to send you the bank account in which you can transfer that $50,000 into. Oh, Chase, before you do that... What do you want? Well, I'm just a bit concerned with how you've handled your scam here, because, well, from what I can tell, it's so flawed that you have to be an amateur. Huh? Well, I guess you've lasted quite a while now, trying to get that money from me, even though this has to be your first time ever trying to scam someone. Well, what are you talking about, Bryson? If you keep it up with that nonsense, I'm going to have you placed under arrest. Chase, I happen to be a detective for the state police. So do you really want to try that with me? What? A detective? Although I don't normally deal with things like fraud and scams, but I am still part of the state police. That means I have the jurisdiction to work with any department in this state. Hold on a second. You're a detective? Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. Although you would never be able to tell because we're just texting one another. Wait. There's no way you're part of the police. You're Chloe's husband, right? You're supposed to be just an average office worker. Her husband is now. But before he married Chloe, he was working for the police as well. However, once he got married, he decided to settle down and went to work an office job. Wait, what? So you're not Chloe's husband? That's right. I'm not. What the hell is going on here now? Chloe didn't want her husband to be caught up in all this scam you have going on here, and so she gave you the number of a state police detective. My number. And hoped that I would be able to deal with you for her. As she told me soon after you had first contacted me about how she needed my help. She started talking to you? She made a very smart play in changing her husband's contact information with mine, making you think that I was her husband. That's why we're here now. Did you say? That bitch. I can't let her get away with this. How about you start getting a grip on the reality of your situation first, before you start to talk about her? What? I think it's time you started worrying about yourself now, Chase. What the hell? You've come this far with your scam, so I don't think you'll be able to get away from me that easily. What the hell will you be about to do to me? I made sure to tell my troopers to get after you before you caught on to your current situation. What? But hold on a sec. This is the end for you, Chase. Your new life of crime was very short-lived. God damn it! Right after I told him what was going to happen, he made a run for it out of his apartment front door. But we were one step ahead of him, and both the state police and city police had his place surrounded. He was able to make it past two of the officers and got on his bike to make a getaway. However, the officers also brought a K9 unit with them, and that dog made a mess of Chase. He tried to wrestle the dog off of him, but this only made the dog bite harder and deeper, which really got him screaming. But because he was still moving around and making it hard for the police officers to get to him, the K9 handler called his dog away, and they tasered Chase. And after the taser had been deployed, he was pretty much out of juice. But this didn't stop the dog from slipping loose and getting a few more bites in on him, completely ending Chase's reign of terror. After the dog was taken off of him and cuffs were placed on, he looked like a bloody mess and had to be taken to the hospital in order to have all the dog bites stitched up. There, he would spend a day getting all 319 stitches that he would need, and after the work was done, he was taken to the local police station. And after a very brief questioning and a quick trial at the courthouse, he was taken away by the police with plenty of charges. As of right now, though, Chase is locked away in a state penitentiary, where he will be serving 3 years. Oh, did I forget to say that it wasn't him trying to scam me that landed him there? Because the main reason was due to him pushing one of the officers over in his getaway, which was seen as assault on an officer. Had he not done that, he would have been a lot better off and might have even gotten off on parole instead. As for my little brother's ex-wife, Chloe, she was able to prove that she was forced to give my information away to Chase and therefore was not arrested for her actions. However, she still had to deal with the settlement to her ex-husband, and once she had paid that off, she returned back to her parents' house. Though she stopped by my office on her way home and thanked me for getting rid of Chase, and said that while she was with her parents, she had worked really hard on turning her behavior around for good.